All right. We're moving on with the program. Our next speaker, Maren Myrseth, is one of our excellent students at the Department of Information Science and Media Studies here at the University of Bergen, located at Media City, Bergen. And the exciting title of her talk is Snap Mapping, Network Buildups, or Spies in the Skies.
Thank you. Yes, so I think that a lot of people might not be aware of the possible consequences of social media. With the introduction of social media and it becoming entrenched into our DNA, we have applied a sort of carefree attitude towards being a part of this very public and digital world. I don't think we think about how easy it is to actually acquire detailed information about ourselves and about others, which, quite self-explanatory, can be very dangerous. It's been so normalized to have your whole life folded out online that it's so easy to think that everyone does it, so it can't be that bad, right? And many people might actually be aware of the disadvantages of living your lives on social media, but actually chooses not to think about it because they're afraid to cut the cord. I will admit that I am one of those people, because I have a fear of missing out. And I've realized that we've grown so attached to the reality of social media, and that may be the reason why we don't want to look at the disadvantages, because we believe that we can't live without it. And it's truly fascinating how fast the world is changing. So today I'm going to talk to you about SnapMap, which is a feature that Snapchat launched last summer. Is it a fun thing that can help build up social relations, or is it something possibly dangerous and an unnecessary tool that can be misused? So here is SnapMap. SnapMap is an interactive map where you and your friends can share locations with one another. To see what's going on around you. And the map is very detailed. The map shows street names and identifies buildings. So as you can see here, this is my avatar. And on SnapMap, everyone has their own avatar, which you can customize. So here you can see my avatar, and you can see very clearly which building I am in, and actually where I am located in that building. So I'm in the natural history collections, it's called, as you can see here. And you can see that close by is the Faculty of Humanities. You can see a mark of the statue outside, which is the Christie statue. So it's very, very detailed, and you can see the street names, the names of the buildings, restaurants, bars. So yeah, it's very, very detailed. And also, when you're traveling, if you're traveling in a car, for example, your avatar will show that you're in a car, because the phone senses what speed you are moving in. And this goes the same for planes and boats as well. So yeah, you can see my avatar here, and then you can see all of my friends in Bergen. And if I zoom all out, you can see the friends that I have all around the world. So I have, for example, I have a friend that's studying in Spain. I can see that she's here in Madrid right now. And I can see if my friends are traveling, if they're on vacation, if they're backpacking through Europe. I can see anything. And your location on SnapMap is activated once you open Snapchat, but more than 150 million people are using this app every day, and on average, all these people open Snapchat 18 times a day. So this opens up the potential of sharing very private information with the whole world in real time. And on SnapMap, you can also view snaps submitted to something called Our Story. From all across the world. This is a common My Story for anyone that finds themselves within a certain geographical area. This means that all of the snaps that was submitted into Our Story in the same geographical area will be collected together and made public for anyone to see. So the map shows where these snaps are shared. So if we go to Bergen, for example, back to Bergen, You can see that I don't know if you can see it, but there are these blue spots in Bergen on the map. And if I press on this blue spot, you can see people that have submitted their snaps from Torgallmenningen yesterday. Which means that you don't have to be friends with people to see what they're posting. And there's also made an R story for sporting events, celebrations, breaking news, events, and more. So people can see what's going on festivals across the world, and so on. So for example, if I go out, and then I go all the way out to the world, and maybe to the United States, I can see that there was a pink shoe power walkout yesterday. So if I press on that one, I will see what people have submitted in that story yesterday. There's no sound, but I was checking this out yesterday, so they're singing like a church song, I think. So this is snaps that people have submitted, and I can see them, and I can look at this right now, here in Bergen, and this is happening all across the world. So this is SnapMap, basically, and it is a fun way to keep in touch with your friends and to keep up with different events that are happening around the world. The reason that I bring this up today is because it's a prime example of exactly how much information we actually share on social media today. We share our location in real time to potentially hundreds of people. And it is a perfectly laid out, ready-to-use tool for anyone that wants to spy on someone. If we're going to be very honest here. But fortunately, we do have a choice. If you look at my avatar, if you go back, you look at my avatar here. Yes, here. You can see that I have a ghost icon on top of my face. And this means that I have activated ghost mode, which means that I have chosen not to share my location with the world or my friends. And you can choose exactly when you want to share your location, who you want to share your location with at any time, and you can control this setting at any time. So, and it's also not possible to share your location with someone you're not friends with on Snapchat. So it's something that we can decide for ourselves, fortunately. And it's very fortunate that we have this opportunity. Even so, it's not uncommon to have friends on Snapchat you've met only maybe once, or not even at all. And it's not unheard of that people have accepted someone's friend request on Snapchat with thinking it was someone else, or someone and there are people who accept all friend requests they get without even thinking about it. And it can also be very easy to forget to activate ghost mode. So what I'm trying to say is that this feature could be very dangerous. Worst case scenario, someone with bad intentions can find your location and follow your every move, and potentially find out where you live, where you work, where you study, and so on. So therefore, I think it's very important to discuss the hazards of sharing your real-time location, especially if that information is being shared with strangers and potentially nefarious users. So it's important to educate and make people aware of how they can protect themselves. Even though something dangerous might not ever happen, it's a stranger danger type of situation, but in a new form. And it's important to be careful and teach, especially kids and younger people, that they should take precautions. So it can be a fun thing between friends, and it is fun to get insight in what someone on the other side of the world is doing, but it can also be a tool that can be misused for very obvious reasons. Yes, and how is it to really live in a world that exists on social media? To see everyone and be seen by everyone? I think it's both frightening and satisfying at the same time. It's satisfying because we can be a part of something bigger. We get this feeling of being in the loop with the rest of the world. Social networking can provide an accessible and powerful toolkit for highlighting and acting on issues, and can cause effect and interest in younger people. It can be used to hone debating and discussion skills in local, national, or international context, and it allows you to be a part of the conversation in society. Users can take part in activities, discussions on site, and can modify and create content which supports creativity. Young people can use social networking services to showcase talent, writing, filming, photography, and so much more. So it is the perfect platform to showcase talents and create career opportunities for young people, and also others. And social networking services can be used to organize activities, events, to showcase issues and opinions, and make more people aware of them. So it is a quite extraordinary thing and has given many people a lot of opportunities. However, I think it's strange how fast we have assimilated social media into our DNA of our relationships. And once we question how we can live with it, and now we question how we can live without it. And we've grown so attached to the reality of social media in such a short period of time. When social media was created, it was so that people could keep in touch with their friends, share thoughts and ideas with like-minded people, and it has now evolved into this enormous web of information that it is today. And it's heavily involved in every aspect of our life, even if you choose not to be a part of it. It's very interesting how we have given up this huge level of privacy in the 21st century. And I think most of us don't really even realize that it has happened. Yes, so I'm going to tell you a story now about a very uncomfortable situation that I experienced. And because of this, I realized how easy it was to find information about me because of social media. One day, I opened up my request inbox on Facebook, and this was by total coincidence. I think I just wanted to check out the different features of Facebook, and I hadn't gotten any notifications prior to this. And in my inbox, I saw several messages from this man who was much older than me, and that I had never met or even seen before. These messages contained everything from, do you want to go to see a movie? I know where you live. I can see that you're from an Asian country. And he wasn't just sending me messages, he was also sending me sound clips where he said my name and asked if we could get to know each other better. I had never met this man in my life, and I soon realized that he had found out all of this information about me because of social media, even though I had a closed profile on Facebook. He had been sending me these messages for over a period of several months, and I just hadn't realized it because I didn't get any notifications. And I found out by looking at his social media profile that he had found my profile because we had one friend in common on Facebook. A friend that I had carelessly accepted on Facebook a very long time ago, that I didn't really know. And I was very shocked, and reality hit me very hard right in the face. And of course, I blocked him straight away. I removed any information about where I lived on my profile, and I contacted the police. And the saddest part about this story is that I'm not the only one who experienced this. And that in my case, the content in the messages was very mild. It could have been much worse, and it could actually have been dangerous. And in my case, it wasn't. So that was very good. And we find ourselves on the internet, and we think we have this imagined privacy. However, we are not in a private place, and we are actually in a very crowded room, surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. On all sides, and anyone who may or may not listen into your conversations. So it's so easy to get access to anyone in the world. And you actually disclose very personal information about yourself online. You disclose what your habits are, where you eat, who you interact with the most, what you think about politics. And in real life, you wouldn't really share that information with a stranger on the street, would you? So you can kind of compare this world of social media with a young person's first trip to the city center. And logically, we would it would be important to know, for that young person to know how to stay safe in this environment. And we use social media now than ever before, more now than ever before, and we give away information without even thinking or knowing the consequences. We scroll through perfectly curated Instagrams, we get sucked into a world of online games and dangerous trends, and we make ourselves believe that this is all real, this is how the world is, but in fact this is just a fraction part of reality. So to finish everything off, it can be fun to stalk your ex-boyfriend, it can be fun to stalk the friend you don't like, and it's fun to be in the loop with the rest of the world. And I'm not saying that you all should swear off social media forever, and that's not my intent with this presentation at all, but social media can be used for so much good, and it can have a positive impact on someone's life, and it's a sea of endless opportunities. And it's not bad at all, and this is where our lives are now. This is where society unfolds, and we can't stop being part of society because we're afraid. However, I think it's smart to be aware of what information you are giving out, because with social media, we have this stranger danger type of situation, but in a new form. It is something that came along with when the whole society moved on to the digital platform. And it is smart to be aware and teach ourselves and others to take precautions. So everyone, please be smart of what you share online. Thank you.